Yeah. Hi guys. Hope everyone doing good. And I warmly welcome to you all our sixth session of Asia webinar series. So thank you joining with us today. Yeah, this session is done by T and Tech in collabs with the Asia Focus Group Innovative. So in the previous session, we went through an webinar series, went through Azure storage. So if you have missed the session, you can always go through our playlist and YouTube and click check it out our social media. So we are planning to do one more session more. So it's next week, and apart from this, which is Azure Container Apps, which will be held next week. So hoping that you all will continue with us until the last session, so that we will get you will get a comprehensive knowledge on Azure services. If you have any question today, you can drop the chat, and at the end of the session we will have a Q&A session. You can ask from here, from there. So about today's speaker is Shamik Farooq, who's an associate tech lead at 99X with over 10 years of experience in industry, as well as full stack developer and Microsoft Azure solution developer actually. So Shamik.
Yeah, thanks, Rashan, for the introduction. So let me share my screen. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Okay, can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, so hope you all doing good. So today we are going to focus on the introductory session on the Azure DevOps. So I will be just going through some fundamentals of Azure DevOps, and at the end of the session, so I will do a small demo. So basically on how to deploy a web application on Azure App Service. Okay, then so this is the today's agenda. So first we will talk about what is Azure, what is DevOps. Then I will do an introduction to Azure DevOps. And so the following that, so I will be talking about the services offered by Azure DevOps. And finally, we will get our hands on Azure DevOps portal, and we'll do a CI/CD for an Azure app using Azure DevOps. So that's the agenda for the day. So let's start. So starting with what is DevOps. So I think you might have already heard this term. So DevOps is the acronym given to the combination of development and operations. So it's a software development practice that promotes collaboration between the development and operations, so which result in faster and more reliable software delivery. So the DevOps connects people, process, and technology to deliver continuous value. So I have just put the DevOps lifecycle here. So if we just look at here on the development side, so we usually start from the planning, and then we do the coding, then build, and we do the testing. And in terms of the operational side, so we have the release, deployment, and operation, and finally the monitor. So that is the bit of an idea about the DevOps concept. Now let's move forward to and the introduction to the Azure DevOps. So the Azure DevOps is a software as a service platform which was offered by Microsoft. It provides an end-to-end DevOps toolchain for developing and deploying software application. So using Azure DevOps, we can deliver software faster and more reliable, no matter how big your IT department or what are the tools that you're using. So with the Azure DevOps, it will be much easier to continuously integrate and continuously deploy. Okay, so talking about the services offered by the Azure DevOps. So these are the services that comes under Azure DevOps umbrella. So regarding this Azure boards and Azure test plans, these are mainly focusing on the project management aspect. And we have the Azure Pipelines, so it's for continuous integration and continuous development. And then we have Azure Repos for Git management. And then we have the Azure artifacts for package deployment. And finally, we have the extension marketplace, so which offers a wide variety of extension, so which we can embed into our DevOps process. Okay, so let's start with the first service, which is the Azure boards. So with the Azure boards, we can track our development work with the Kanban boards, backlogs, team dashboards, and the custom reporting. And the Azure boards has built-in Scrum boards and planning tools, so which helps the teams run the sprints, stand-ups, and planning meetings. And also we can gain new insight into the health and status of the project with the powerful analytics tools and dashboard widgets. Okay, moving on to the next service, which is the Azure Pipelines. So Azure Pipeline is an automate builds and it offers the automate builds and the deployments, and it supports any languages. So the languages including the Node.js, Python, Java, .NET, PHP, Ruby, or even the Android apps and the iOS apps are supported. So it runs in parallel operating systems like Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. And so with the Azure Pipelines, we can easily build and push images to the container registries like Docker Hub, if you are familiar with. And also we can add wide varieties of extensions to the build pipeline. So in the previous slide, I mentioned about the market extension. So with that one, we can include, with that one, we can integrate the new extension to the build pipelines. So for an example, like the Sona Cloud, so which is a static code analysis tool. So we can integrate that Sona Cloud into our build pipeline as well to check the code, to perform the code quality. And also we can deploy the we can do the deployment to any cloud. So this Azure cloud is not rely on only on the Microsoft cloud, so it support for any clouds including the AWS and the GCP. And the interesting part about the Azure Pipelines is it's free for open source projects. So if you have an open source project, so you will get 10 free parallel jobs with unlimited build minutes for all the open unlimited builds. And finally, it provides an advanced workflows and features. So that's about the Azure Pipelines. So I will move to the next service, which is the Azure Repos. So it's a cloud-hosted private Git repos for our project. It supports for any Git client, and also it has the webhooks and API integration features as well. And other than that one, so it has a cool feature, which is a semantic code search. So with that one, we can easily find what we are looking for with the code aware search that understand the classes and variables in our code. Okay, moving on to the next service, which is the Azure test plans. So with the Azure test plans, we can plan and perform the exploratory testing to make the discovered defects actionable. And also we can capture rich scenario data as we execute the tests. And also we can perform tests across web application and the desktop application. And also we can get an end-to-end traceability, and we can just maintain the quality of the stories and the features that we are doing in our project. So that's about the Azure test plans. And finally, we have the Azure artifacts. So it's a package management for CI/CD pipelines. So with the Azure artifacts, we can easily share code across teams. And basically it manages the all package type. If it is a Java project, it's Maven. If it is a Node project, it's Npm. If it is a .NET, if it's Nugget and Python. So these are the all type of packages are supported by the Azure artifacts. Okay, now let's map these services into the Azure DevOps lifecycle. This is the standard DevOps lifecycle I mentioned in the beginning of the slide. And so if we map our Azure services, this is how it will look like. So like I mentioned, for the planning, we have the Azure boards. For the coding, we have the Azure repos. For build, we have the Azure pipelines. And for testing, we have Azure test plans and Azure Dev test labs. So the Azure Dev test lab is something I will not cover part of the session, but that's included in the presentation. And for the releases, we can use the Azure artifacts, also the Azure pipelines. And for the deployment also, we can use the Azure Pipelines and the deployment group and Azure Virtual Machines. I think Azure Virtual Machines you might have learned in our previous webinar sessions. And for the operations, we can use the Azure agents and the Azure pipelines. And for the monitoring part, we can use the Azure Monitor. So this is the Azure DevOps ecosystem. This is how it will look like. Okay, so it's time for a demo. So let me stop my screen and let me reshare it, guys. So okay, just let me know if you guys can still see my screen.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay, so to begin with the Azure DevOps, so this is the URL to log. This is the URL to log Azure DevOps. So is dev.azure.com. So if you just visit this site, so here you have the two options. Either you can start with free. So either you can start free with your Microsoft account, or if you have a GitHub account, you can start free with the GitHub account. So if you are already registered user, you can just directly sign into the Azure DevOps portal. So I have already signed into my Azure DevOps portal. So I have already, so once you logged into your Azure DevOps, so it will, in the left side, it will display your organization. So, and in the right side, it will display the project's status. So at the moment I have one project. And so I'm not going to create a new organization because with the new Asia policy, so when you're creating a new organization, in order to get the free build pipeline, free build pipeline run, we need to request as a separately. So it will take like 3 days. So in such case, I'm not going to create a new organization. So instead, I will use my existing organization to do the demo. So, and let's start with maybe creating a new project. So in order to create a new project, you can just simply click on this new project. So you can have multiple projects. You don't have any restriction like that. So the first thing is that you need to give a name for your project. So let me add like demo, maybe I'll demo webinar 2. So since I have demo webinar 1, so I will name it as demo webinar 2. So you can choose whether it's a public or private. So let me just select it as a private. And if you go to the advanced section, so here it will show you two options. So one is the version control, and other one is the work item process. So regarding the version control, either you can select the JIT or the team foundation version control. And the work item process, so it's sorry, so the work item process, it's basically talking about the what is the process type. So we have this basic, or we basic with a Kanban board, or if you are following agile method, you can follow select the agile or Scrum. So for the demo purpose, I will just stick with these predefined options and just create the project. Okay, so it will take just a couple of seconds. So it's created. So once you create your Azure Azure DevOps project, so this is how it will look like. The landing page will look like this. And so in the left side, so you will have some different menus. So let's just go through one by one. So first menu is about the overview. So under the overview, we have the summary. So in the summary, it will display some of the summaries. And so we have a menu for dashboard. So this is a cool feature. So where you can add some widgets to see the overview of your project. For example, I can add a widget to I can add a widget to see the build history. So let me just add some of the widgets. So then just give me a second, guys. This is okay. Yeah, so we can add some of the widgets. For example, let me add the build history widget. And so if you're following this Scrum, you can, you can just have this burn down, burn up chart. So let me just add some couple of widgets just for the demo purpose. And once you add the widgets, just click done editing. So for now, you won't see any stat because you don't have anything there. And then we have this option called the Wiki. So Wiki is it's if you are familiar with working with Confluence, this is a document. This is a knowledge sharing tool. So where you can just document your knowledge base in this space. So in order to create a new wiki space, just click on the create project wiki. So it will take you to this page where you can create a new wiki project. For example, let me name this as a webinar wiki, and let me let me save it. So under this this is your wiki space. Under that one, you can have maintain the multiple pages. For example, if you want to create a new page, so let me add my page. And so here, this is a text editor, HTML based text editor. So you have in the left side, you can just type the whatever the text you want, and in the right side will appear the how it will be look like in the preview. So for example, this has some standard stylings. Maybe I can add as this is my heading, and I can just add a header. I can make it bold. And if I want to add a number of lines, first, second, third, you have this bullet options. So these options are there. So while you're typing, in the right side, it will be display the real-time preview. So another cool feature is that it has embedded the diagram. So this is something that really helpful for the development purpose, because we used to draw different kind of charts and flow charts. So for that one, this is a cool tool that offers by this wiki pages. So in order to understand this this to learn more about this mermaid the widget, so just visit this site. So if you just load the diagram, it will just display the diagram. So likewise, you can just maintain all your documentation work inside the wiki project. So this is about the wiki part. And then I will go to the boards. So under the boards, so this is, like I mentioned, this is a agile aspect. So here we have something like work item, boards, backlog, sprints, and queries, delivery plans. So what I will do is, so I will just go to sprint. So if I just go to sprints, so it will show us our current sprint. So current sprint is sprint 1. But if you see the iteration date, so currently I haven't set any dates, so I can set a sprint date. So maybe I can say that the sprint 1 is, let's say if we have a 2-week sprint, so I can set sprint 2-week sprint like this. So starting date is 1st of August, and I can set the end date of the sprint as the 12th of August, and save and close. So this is my first sprint. So I have created my first sprint. And if you want to create a new work items, you can just go to the work items, and you can just create a new work item. So here it will show us these kind of types: epic, issue, and task. So if you want to customize this one, you will have to go to the organization settings. And so maybe I will just show it to you. So if you want to customize those types, you will have to go to the organization settings process, and then here it will these are the processes that available. So if you want to customize, you will have to just take a copy of this, and you will have to make the adjustment. So I'm not going to do that one. So instead I will just stick with the existing template. And so if you want to create a new work item, you can just simply just pick the task type, and you can do this one. So for example, let me say that this is a login functionality. So I'm just creating a story to develop a login functionality feature, and it has a status. So initially it will just fall under the to do, and it will select the okay, it will under the iteration I can select the sprint. So I will select the sprint 1. And so under this, here we have some other options as well. We can add a description, we can add the comments, and we can set the priority for these features and effort. So those kind of things we can do. And also we can link this story to a particular branch. So I will just show you how to do that one while we move forward. So let me just save this one. So likewise, you can just create multiple work items. So if you go to the boards is simple Kanban board. So here it has this to do, doing, done. So you can just drag and drop as per your status of the task. And so yeah, task. And if you want to, you can customize these columns as well. To customize these Kanban board columns, you will have to go to here, click on the settings, and then go to the under the board, go to the columns. Under the columns, you have this set of columns. If you want to add a new column, you can add a new column. So if you want to just rename the existing column, you can just rename it. For an example, if it is a to do, and maybe I can say this is in progress. Maybe I can see this one completed. So you can do the customization here, and just you can. Okay, just I'm getting some exception. Not sure. Okay, just we'll move forward. Okay. Sorry, it took me to another page. Okay, yeah, so likewise you can just, so I have updated this column name, so it has updated. And under the backlog, so here it will display all your backlog items, so you can add items like here. So I'm not going to add further items, I'll just skip that one. And then we have another area called the queries, so maybe I will go to the query section. So for this one, here this query feature is interesting tool, because it's a cool tool where you can just query if you have the last set of task. So you can apply some filtration here. So that is what this queries section does. So in this project, I don't have any much tasks, so maybe I will move to my other project. So it has some, just at least few tasks where I can just filter out. So I have this kind of a task. So if I just go to the queries, so I can apply some filtration here. So basically that what it does. So in the new query, so I can add conditions. So maybe I'll add here, I will select, let's say if I want to check what are the tasks that are completed. So I will select the state, and if I will give the value state equals done, and if I will run the query, so it will just give me the result. So these are the tasks that are done. So that is about these queries. And in terms of the delivery plans, so under the delivery plans, we can plan out our releases. So I have created one delivery plan here. So it will just basically display where you stand now. So, and with that one, you can decide, okay, when I'm going to do my release. So this will see in this delivery plans, it will show the sprint and the items which are in the sprint. And also I can set some markers, like so if I want, I can set a release milestone. For example, if I want to set a milestone, I can just go to markers, and here I can set the date. So if I am planning to do a release on 16th, I can just name a label, and I can simply save it. So it will just give you a clear picture on where we stand. So that is about this board section. And then I will so before moving into the repo section, maybe I will talk about the test plans. So okay, so I will just come back to my newly created project. So I'm using a basic access level plan. So because of this one, I don't have the access to create a new test plans. So instead, what I can do is I can just write some test cases which will display under my test plans. Maybe if you want to write a test cases, what you can do is, so for an example, let's say if you want to write test cases for this particular task. So this is login functionality. So what you can do is you can click on this one and click add test. And here you can say that since it's login functionality, maybe I will say that functional test suite. And I will add another test suite for non-functional test suite. Okay, and so under the test suite, you can add some test steps as well. To add the test steps, just click on the test suite, and then click on the steps. Add step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1, maybe step 2. I'm just adding a dummy data, so step 3. And yeah, likewise, you can just add the testing steps as well. Okay, so I'll just add this one since I can't create a test plan. So it will display an icon like this. So it has the two test suite to be run, and it is not run yet. So if I go to the test plans now, so it will just display my my current sprint one. And if I go to sprint one, so it will show all the test suites that are available under the sprint one. And so I can perform I can do the manual testing by click on this and click on the run. For example, if I want to perform this test, so if I want to perform the exploratory testing on this particular function, so I can simply select run for web application. So if it is a web application, you can click for run for web application. If it is desktop application, you can do like that. So this is a manual testing, not an automated testing. So just simply click on this one, run for web application. So basically you will test the features and you will mark whether it's a pass or fail. So I will test the first, I will test this first step. And if it is pass, I can just mark as pass. And so if it's fail, I can mark as fail. So maybe I'll mark this as a fail. And I can add a comment, this is not working or something, and a meaningful comment. And then you can, if you want, you can just create an issue from here itself. So for this fail test, or else you can just save and close. So this is how you can just do the manual testing. And if you just go to the boards, so it will also display the test status as well in this board. So for example, here it displays that the functional test suite has failed. So if you click on this one, you can just you have the clear visibility on what is the issue there. So yeah, so that's about this thing. And so once you configure this one properly, so you would see some nice graphs under this progress report. So okay, so here I don't have sufficient data to display, so maybe I will go to my previous project and let me just show the progress report here. So it will show you some fancy graphs like this. So it will show all your manual testing plus the automated test results in a graph format. So this is how it will look like. Okay, so that is about the test plans. Okay, now let's talk about the repos in the pipelines. Okay, so just give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to hide this one. Okay, it got it. Okay, nice. Okay, so now let's go and check about this repos. Okay, so if you go to the repos here in the initial state, so it will display like this. So you can, if you want to clone this repo into your machine, so this is the command. This is the code. And if you want to push an existing repository from command line, you can use this one. And or else if you have the option to import repository as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, so I have a small React app. So I just this is nothing, just a simple React app. So this is how it will be look like. So this is a starter template of the React app. So as you can see, this is running in localhost. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to import this repository into my Azure DevOps repo. Okay, so to do this one, I'm not going to use any console, or I'm not going to use any Git client or anything. So I'm going to simply use import repository option, because since it's easier for me to do, otherwise it will be time consuming. So to do that one, what you can do is, so like I mentioned, I have this already created this project, and I have hosted this one in my GitHub repository. Okay, so under the GitHub repository, I will just click on this code, and let me just copy the clone URL, and I'll go to the Azure repos, Azure DevOps repos, and I will click the importer repository, click import, and here it will be either we can import from the Git or team foundation version control, obviously the Git, and let me add the clone URL and simply click on the import. So it won't take much time, because the file, it has some lightweight files. So okay, so it's now imported. So let me just click on the let me just go to the file section. Okay, so Yeah. So okay, so this is how it will look like. So my repository is cloned to my Azure DevOps repos. Okay, so I can see all my files here, and yeah, and let's just talk some of the features of Azure repos. So we have, just like the GitHub, so this Azure repos also has the similar features, like we can check the commits. So for example, if I go to the commits, so I have only the one commits, which is the initialized project using create React app. So I have made only single commit here. And if I go to the pushes, I can see all the pushes. So I have pushed. So this is the push. Yeah. So since I just sync this project to my repos, so the date is shown as today's date. And if I go to the branches section, so it will display all the branches. So at the moment, I have only the master branch, and so I can go to the tags to create tags, or I can go to the pull request to create a new pull request. Okay, so this is the this is the overall idea of the repo. So what I will do is I will just simply create a new branch. Okay, so as part of our demo, so I will just create a new branch in advance. So maybe I will click on new branch. I will say this is my feature branch. I'm going to check out from master branch. So like I mentioned, we can just link these branches to a particular story. So maybe I will just link my branch with the one task, and I'll just create my branch. So this is my feature branch. Okay, so I have created a feature branch. So now let's go and check about the pipelines. Okay, so as mentioned in my agenda, so today for the demo I am going to do a deployment to Azure App Service using the Azure pipelines, DevOps pipelines. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. To do that one, so the first thing is we need to we need to create a Azure App Service. Okay, so I have logged into Azure portal, so portal.azure.com. So I am under the app services. Now I'm going to create a new app service. Okay, just click on the create. And so I have a free subscription. Let me just select the resource group. Let me add this, let add the name like web demo webinar React app maybe. So I'm going to host a React app. So I will name like this. And so this is a code. So I just select, and for the runtime stack, since I'm hosting a React.js project, so it's based on Node.js. So I will take the Node 16. For the operating system, I will go with the Linux. And for the Linux plan, I have selected this free option. Let me just review and create. So let it create. So it will take. Okay, let it create. So until it creates, so now let's until it creates, so let's just talk about the pipelines. So if you go to the pipeline, so you have two things. One is you are going to create a pipeline for continuous integration. Another one is for continuous delivery. Okay, so let's create our first pipeline, which is the continuous integration. So basically you are going to incrementally merge changes your software product. So that's the idea of the continuous integration. So to create a new pipeline, go to under the pipelines, click on the create pipeline. And so to create a pipeline, so you have two options. Either you can go with YAML format. So YAML format means it's a set of code. So you can go in the code base, or else you can just go with the classic editor. For the ease of use, I will go with the classic editor. And if you select the classic editor, so it will give us this to select a source. So where our source code is rely on. So so either we can just import from a GitHub or Bitbucket Cloud. So you have all the options. So since I have already imported my project into Azure Repos, so I will just select the Azure Repos from the option. And then I will select the team, and I will select the repository. So I have this demo webinar 2 repository, and I will select the master branch as my branch, and I will click continue. And so here it will ask us to select a template. So basically for what purpose we are going to create this pipeline. So what I'm going to do is so here you have the lot of templates. For example, if you are building an Azure web app for ASP.NET, you can use this one. So likewise, you can, if you're using a Java project, you can use the Maven this option template. So now I'm going to build an React app, so React.js app. So I'm going to use the empty job. So click on the empty job. Okay, so once you click on the empty jobs, these are the options that will be available here. So okay, so under the pipeline, so the first thing is that you need to give a name. So it will automatically select that demo webinar 2 -ci, and it will ask to select a agent pool. So I will select the Azure pipeline, and it will ask the agent specification. So agent is something, it's a virtual machine, so where your pipeline is running on. So you need to specify what is the agent specification. So for this one, I will select the Ubuntu 20.04. I'm not going to select Windows thing. So this is, you need to specify these details accordingly. And the other thing is that you need to go to the trigger section. So if you want to enable a continuous integration option, you need to enable continuous integration. So that is something that you need to do. And then go back to the task. And then the next step is about the agent job. So job is something, it's a collection of tasks. Okay, so under the job, you have multiple tasks. So you can give a name to the agent job. So I will simply say that the agent job 1. So maybe I will say that React app agent. So, and then I need to select the agent pool. So here I will select I will inherit from the pipeline pool. And so if you just go below, you have some other options as well. So whether to have the parallelism, timeout. So I will just leave all the options as it is. I'm not going to change anything. So let's leave like that. And then, so next step is, so we need to specify, okay, so specify the task. Like I mentioned, the agent is a collection of tasks. So now we need to specify the task. So task is something like, so imagine, so when you are deploying a React.js application into a app service, so what are the steps you need to perform? So the very first thing is you need to do the npm install, right? So that is the first task that you need to perform. So you will just click on this one, and let's add the, so here it will display the all type of task. So my task is based on the npm, so I will type the npm and I will add the npm task. Okay, so my first task is about what? Npm install. So I will just give one display name like npm install. So under the command, you can select the install command. So you have the different commands. So I will select the npm install. So that part is done. And the second step is what? So once you do the npm install, the second step is to build your application. For that one, you need another npm task. So I will search for npm again, and let me add the another npm task. For this one, I will name as npm build. So, and so this is for the command. So here it should be build command, but I don't see any build command here. So I will simply say that run, simply say that custom. And under the command and arguments, you need to specify what is the command. So I will say that run build. So here the syntax is like the npm is reserved. So you will basically say, you have to say npm run build. That's all. Okay. Okay. So that is also done. And the last step is, so once you build the files, you need to just you need to just copy that. You need to just make it as a release folder, right? So for that one, we'll create another task. So let me add another task, which is to publish artifact. So basically, this is the output of my build. So you select this publish build artifacts. So under the publish build artifacts. So this is the final task I'm going to add. So here you can specify their names, and so it will ask, okay, what is the path to publish? Okay, so for this one, you can simply name a folder name. So maybe I will say that it will publish to a build folder. So I will name as a build folder, and I will just give the artifact name as I will just leave this as it is, so drop. And yeah, and so yeah, so you might wonder, okay, what is this syntax is about? Wait, let me just okay, okay, I can't just okay, I can't undo it. Okay, it's okay. So for an example, let's say you can maintain a list of variables under this variable section. For example, I can have the project, I can use the project name using this reserve variable. For that one, I can give a value, and I can use these kind of keywords inside my pipelines. For that one only, we are using these variables. So I'm not going to use any variables. I'm just pointing out that one. So okay, I created my CI pipeline. Okay, now I will just save and queue. So save mean it will just save. So I save and queue mean it will basically run my CI pipeline. So I will add a comment like initialize the CI pipeline. Okay, so these all things are done, and I will just simply click save and run. So let it run. So if you just click save run, and so it will be like this. And if you want to check the progress, just go to this React app agent. So inside the agent, if you go that one, so it will display all the all the steps. The first step is to npm install. So it's performing the npm install now. Let's give it a couple of seconds. Yeah. It's running. So in the meantime, I will just go and check my oh god, I forgot to create my web app. So let me create it now. Sorry about it. Anyway, this creating the web app will not take much time, so we can just okay. So I'm getting an error. What is that? Okay, publish artifacts. Okay, so I'm getting an error. It says that publish failed with an error, not found path to publish. Okay, okay, I haven't specified where to publish this one, so I will just go back to my pipeline. Let me just edit it. Okay, what's the issue? Okay, publish this location. I select it. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Maybe I will just cross-check with my previous project. Something wrong there. Okay, sorry, I think it's something to do with this should be built. Maybe I'll just save and run again. Let's see what will happen. I assume that it's to do with this case sensitivity. Maybe we'll double check that one. It should be the case sensitivity, because when you create a build, so it will create a folder that with a simple B. So that's why it says that the path is not found. So we'll check now. Okay, it's performing the npm install. So in the meantime, so I have created my web app. So I will just go to portal, and so while our CI pipeline is running, I will just come back to our web app. So in order to access the web app, just click on this URL. So if I just go to URL, so this is my web app URL. So it's loading. Okay, so yeah, it says that your web app is running and waiting for your content. So at the moment I don't have any content. Okay, so that is what it says. Okay, now we'll go to the yeah, pipeline. Okay, so okay, this is success. Okay, so the CI pipeline is done. So it says that pass. Okay, so the next step is the continuous deployment pipeline. So we have created our continuous integration pipeline. Now we are going to create a continuous deployment pipeline. For that one, we will have to go to releases. Just go to the releases and create a new pipeline. So here we are going to create a new pipeline. So here it will give us an option to select a template. So basically, I will just really go with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy my application into Azure App Service. So I'm going to select this option, Azure App Service deployment. Just select this one. Okay, so selected that one, and we need to give a stage name. So basically, in a build pipeline, we could have multiple stages. So multiple stages. For example, let's say if you are just deploying a production application, so before you deploy the production application, you might have to do some changes to your DB schema. So in such case, you might have a stage to tell DB schema update, and another stage to mention that deploy your files to the production server. So likewise, you could have multiple stages. So for the demo purpose, I will just rely on one stage. So I will just name this as a stage one, and then here what it says is, so this is how the pipeline will look like. So we have an artifact. So based on this artifact, we will perform some set of tasks. So that's the basic idea of this flow. So for the artifacts, I will click add, and then here what I'm going to do is, so I have created an artifact from my previous build build pipeline. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that pipeline. So this is my pipeline I created in my previous step, demo webinar CI pipeline. Okay, I selected that one, and I am specifying that take the latest version of latest version of the build, and it will the source alias it will automatically construct. Just click add. Okay, so I have added my artifact step, and the next step is I need to enable the continuous deployment trigger. For that one, just click on this one, enable this one. Okay, so enable. So here you have two options. One is the continuous deployment trigger, and it's a pull request trigger. So pull request trigger is, so when you creating a pull request, it will perform the build. So this is, I will select this continuous deployment trigger, and here I will add a branch filter. So what I'm going to do is, so if there's any changes to a master branch only, I need to perform this build pipeline, because I have another feature branch also now. So I will filter out the branches from here. So I will select the master branch here, and let me, yeah, so we have configured the artifact trigger. And now the next step is the stage trigger. So here the first step is we need to configure the job. So here we need to select the Azure subscription. So we have selected template. So based on template only, these fields are displaying. So I have to select the Azure subscription. So it says that we need to authorize. So let me authorize this one. Okay, let me log into my Azure portal. So I have created my account using the GitHub. So that's why it's redirected to GitHub authentication. So it's authorizing my okay, so it authorized. So now I need to specify the web app. So app type. So here I have to select the web app on Linux, because I have built my web app services on the Linux machine, and I need to specify the app service name. So here I need to specify this. Okay, app service name is not loaded here. Maybe I will refresh it. Okay, maybe I will specify like this. It's not loading here by default. Okay, so I added my app service name as well. Okay, the other thing is the startup command. So if you just check this one, so it's just give us a static page. So if you want to run a React or Node-based applications, you need to add a startup command like this. So I will just explain this one. So basically, it says that PM2 PM2 serve, and we need to specify the website URL. So by default, it will be rely on home site and www root, and we need to add this arguments as well. So add the startup command, and then click save. So here, leave the specify the default path here, and click OK. So I have configured my okay, let me just go back and double check whether I have completed everything. Okay. Okay, so and the other thing is, so under the this triggers, if I just go here, so it will ask, okay, whether to perform the manual view after release. So I will just select the after release first. So what will happen is, so every time there is a build file available, it will automatically trigger the deployment. So that is what it says. Okay, now okay, now our release CD pipeline is also ready. CI pipeline is also ready. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I will just go to the repo. I will go to my repo, and I will select the master branch here. Okay, I have selected the master branch, and let me change my content a bit. So like I mentioned, this is starter template. So I will just remove this one, and I will add like hello world maybe. And let me just commit this changes. Okay, so I'm going to commit the changes to a master branch. So that's what I have done here. And if I go to pipeline, so the continue CI pipeline is running. So let me just go and just click on here. So CI pipeline is running. So once this is done, only the CD pipeline will run. So let's wait for a couple of minutes maybe. It's performing the Npm install. Usually it won't take much time, but for some reason I'm having some slowness here. But okay, so it's npm install is done. So now it's performing the npm build step. Okay, it's published artifacts. Okay, it's so okay. The CI pipeline is done. So now let's come back to the release pipeline. Sorry, it's the CI pipeline is still running. Yes. Okay, so the CI pipeline is done. So now it's triggered this CD pipeline. So as you can see, it says that release -1. So if I go inside, I can see an idea of what's happening inside. So we have got a artifacts here. So it is just triggering the build, and okay, so it's not. Okay, let's check what happened there. Okay, so I have made a mistake here. So I didn't specify where the my packages rely on. So let me just go back to my release pipeline, and let me just quickly edit this one. So I need to, sorry, I need to specify under this one. Yeah. Yeah, so here this path is wrong. As you can see, this is a by default path, so I have missed to replace this one. So we need to specify where my this is my build file reside on. Let me just save it, and let me just create a release. So I'm just manually trigger a build. Let's see what will happen there. Okay, so manual trigger is running. Let's see whether it will work. Okay, it's downloading the artifacts. Hope this time it should work. Okay, it's not. Why? What happened? Okay, sorry. I need to trigger my changes again. Sorry, guys. Let me just reinitiate the flow, because what happens is it's still, maybe I'll say this version 1 and let me commit. Well, working with just establishing a pipeline, this is the bit tricky part. So you need to specify all the arguments correctly, otherwise you will just encounter with this kind of issue. In the meantime, the pipeline runs, I'll just recheck whether all the parameters are correct. Now this is correct. Level view, this should work. Sorry guys, I took some additional minutes. Hope that won't be an issue for you. Okay, it's pipeline is done, I think. Now it should trigger the release pipeline. So let's see the release pipeline with this, it will work. Okay, it's trigger is done. Trigger is started. Initializing the jobs. Okay, it's still running. Sometimes it will take about a minute. So that was the estimated time as per this application. Let's see. It's taking more than 1 minute. Maybe because it's this is the first time, so it's just taking a bit of time. I'll just go inside and see what happens there. Okay, at last the build is succeeded. So now let me just go to my demo webinar React app Asia webinar. So as you can see, the website is hosted. So yeah, so that's about it. So I wish I can do another round of testing, like just making some changes and just to elaborate bit more on how this continuous integration is working. But apparently I just got more extra 6 minutes than I agreed. So maybe I will just stop from here. Yeah, so that's about it, guys, for the day. And thank you very much for listening, guys. So if you have any questions, you can ask.
Yeah, if you have any question, you can ask from now. All right. Okay. Yeah, I would like to thank Shamik for accepting our invitation and taking a bit of time from your valuable time, and thank for sharing knowledge with us. So next session is about Asia Container Apps, which will be held next week. It is our last session. Yeah. Until that, thank you, everyone. Hoping to see you all in next session. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for your patience.